I really just feel like Bucky's trying to kill me.
It's not loaded.
Well,
I think. Make sure. Can you look and see?
no.
Stare down the barrel again.
No.
Hello, everybody. I am Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is Cynthia Erivo's Drag Race.
Indeed.
It is her world.
Indeed.
We all just live in it.
Thank you for having me.
Correct.
So
I have nothing to add. That's exactly right.
So this was Drag Race. It wasn't a necessarily eventful episode. We have our top four. This was 5 into 4. So I think with that, we'll just sort of talk about the players that we have left.
Yeah.
I am going to start off.
Forget something, or did you feel like?
I think I need a medic.
Oh my God. I don't want to diminish anybody's actual medical issues.
She was fine.
That felt not real.
She was fine.
It didn't feel entirely on the up and up, is what I'm saying.
Because you were like, the medic just was like, you just need to breathe and drink some water.
He literally was like, I don't love where your blood pressure's at, but you should relax and take a deep breath. And I was like,
she was fine. Olivia was getting too much screen time.
Yeah.
Oh, Candy. I
do like her.
I did know. It was hilarious.
I do like her now. I've come around so far in Candy. I think she's actually great, but that felt a little like 60% of an attention grab.
She's on a TV show.
Yeah. She knows she's on a TV show.
And I mean, I prefer this to picking fights, because
for sure.
That the further away we get from that her and Tamisha fight, the more I believe that they orchestrated that.
Yeah.
Because, or at the very least she did, because it's like Candy has not handled any other. And you know, we're always asking for growth, and sure, some of it could have been growth, but I think Candy's an entertainer. I think she is a consummate entertainer first and foremost, and I think there's some self-producing happening.
100%. Because I would say the same thing about Rosé, except Rosé is just being herself.
Well, because we were a little bit chilly with Rosé in the beginning. She was pinging bitch to us in a way that I don't know if it was just a side effect of there being too many. Or so many queens, rather. That now that we've pared it down, we can get more of the personality. But
boy, I tell you, especially the last few weeks, Rosé has been really like den mothery in a way.
And she's been taking the notes.
Yeah, I love it.
The clothes and everything.
And she looked beautiful.
Stunning and brave and beautiful. I have nothing even remotely critical to say about my queen, Rosé.
I'm only half joking. I think she's
I love Rosé. I don't always prefer her specific taste. Her style. Because I don't love Maud, but you do.
Oh my God.
What did you think
Tonight's was another. It was like equal but opposite to the devil thing from a couple weeks ago. It was equally as good as the devil thing, but in just like the opposite direction. I loved everything about it. It was all black and white, and then it was like one big pocket, and then a couple of them had reveals tonight. Her and Gottmik both had reveals, and then when she took the outside off, it was like all pockets, but like black and white alternating. I really 50s is my actual favorite aesthetic, but 60s mod is like close behind. I love it. I dig it so much. And I mean everything, the wig, the Twiggy eye makeup, it was all
and
good.
She's really good in the acting, because that's where she's been really kind of excelling lately. This was a weird episode and a weird challenge. They were really filling time.
Yeah.
The Henny, I Shrunk the Drag Queen, any individual element of it was funny.
Sure.
At any moment where you froze the camera, it was cute.
It was real loose.
I think it was bold to have the runtime at 4 hours and 2 minutes.
It was really
filmed in a 4:3 ratio to protect the the cinematic integrity. It went on.
It did.
It was like 12 minutes of screen footage.
It was a lot of screen. Like, we had a commercial break in the middle of the video, and I was like, this is too much for me now.
It was a loose premise that kept going. I found Rosé, Gottmik, and Candy to be the best actors. They praised Simone's acting, which I was fine with. I like Simone a lot.
They praised her for being understated,
which was weird because they were directing everyone to be over the top. Which, yes, absolutely, that comes with the territory with drag queens.
This is a drag queen show.
It was too over the top.
Yeah,
everything that they were, everything was at an 11.
Yeah,
and I wasn't entirely sure, other than just to see if they'd follow the direction.
Maybe.
Because it was too long form for how over the top it was.
That's fair. It wasn't like when they were doing like the individual ones at the beginning, and they're like, 3 minutes max kind of a thing.
The commercials were like 30 seconds.
Yeah, this was like a really, you're right, long form, and it was too loose and too shaggy to be like funny enough the whole time. There were too many
And did they? I mean, they can't have memorized that. Where
no,
was Michelle and Carson feeding them all of the lines?
Maybe. There also were like too many second locations within the thing where I just was like, so they're in the one side of the workroom, they like get to the table, there's like a place where the breasts are, there's a sign, there's a lever, and I just was like, this is too many things.
Candy is just inherently good at these acting things. I don't know if she's necessarily diverse, that we haven't really, that I can tell, attempted that. I think that was
doing different characters. Yeah.
That's what they were attempting to do with this, and I think the results there were medium. I kind of wish they had all played themselves, like a version of themselves, versus trying to assign.
Well, I think it actually would have worked better if Candy and Simone hadn't both been such sticks in the mud about who they wanted to be. I think Candy should have let Simone be the villain. I think a Simone villain would have been better than Candy's villain. Even though okay. I think yes.
And that was the moment that I was like, Candy absolutely knows who who she is and where she's doing this.
That's true.
When in this episode she referred to herself as delusional, and I was like, so yeah, no, this is absolutely a long, not con, but like a long game.
Yeah, she's playing it right, and no, I totally agree with that. I just think Simone really wanted the role too, and Candy was like, "But I'm doing it," and then they just were like, "Well, whatever." And I think, and then Simone got so in her head about it, and I think they would have,
What? So I was cooking for the first half of this, so I wasn't laser focused. Simone fell to pieces.
Yeah.
What happened?
She just was like, it. You know how everybody gets at this last stage of like a competition show like this, it's like the pressure's too high, and she doesn't know if she can like keep being there, and it's like all the stuff.
Because I heard her spiraling, because I was like in the kitchen talking to. I was like, sweetheart. I was like, you need to give yourself a break.
She pulled out of it enough to like be decent in the like play or show or movie or whatever you want to call it, but.
I Shrunk the Drag Queen.
Yeah, but she still was like, she was too in her head about not getting the character that she wanted, for sure.
I just looked over there, and she had just completely unraveled, and I was like, in a way that it made me like her, because I was like, wow, you really are like a perfectionist.
Yeah,
like you really, because sometimes it can, when someone is as good as she is, it can seem like it's A, effortless, and B, it can almost be annoying. It's like you're not even trying, you're just gliding through this competition. Yeah. And the way that she like I said, unraveled, I was like, oh, you really care this like a much. Lot. And that's good, but I was like, you're going to kill yourself if you.
Well, it's the type of thing where I think because she was gliding through so relatively seamlessly for a while, she's coming at this from a different vibe than Rosé, who feels like she's been climbing up the mountain and taking their notes.
Simone's in big Brooklyn Heights territory, where she like came out of the gate really at like hard. A 9.
Yeah.
And
there's not a lot of place to go up.
You can be surpassed. Yeah. So this is a very, very solid group, and also something that, and I hate to, I'll blame myself for this. I'll admit that this is my own problem, my own fault, but it took me till now to realize what a good group of friends this season was.
Because I think they're so sequestered.
Well, and
together.
I think the Candy and Tamisha fight, I really let that paint like a damper or like put a damper on the season for me, or I let it paint like a little rain cloud in a way that, I mean, by the time Tamisha went home, that was water under the bridge.
Yeah.
They demolished it and built a second bridge.
I was like, we were like 8 bridges away by that point.
And so all of these Untucked episodes since has really been weirdly therapeutic in a way where Untucked can very easily be messy.
Yeah, for sure. And this one especially, this one and the other one where they all had to like name each other, when they've done that in past seasons, it's been like, bitch, how dare you? And these girls are like, I understand why you said me.
Well, it's Olivia.
Yeah.
And it did get to her this time because this was the second time that everybody said her name. I like Olivia a lot.
Me too.
I love Olivia. I think that Olivia will have a very robust career.
Yeah.
I am of the mind that it is not quite her time yet. I think that she was extremely talented. I think she was extremely good. But as, you know, she mentioned coming to this competition that she's a year into her drag, career.
I mean, she is remarkably polished for being a year into it, which is very impressive. But
she's also just like...
She's young, and it's also just like they kept telling her, you only have the one character. Like, you have to try to do something different. And she's like really stuck on that one character.
You made a comment where you're like, if I see that fucking run, that weird, pigeon toed run that she does.
It was funny the first couple times. It works as a visual gag, and then she just kept doing it. And I was like, that's not as funny as you think. Yeah.
I think that she has room. What?
T. Kyle from the Legends Only podcast, he was like, I swear to God, if I have to listen to Olivia's baby voice one more week.
It's very sexy toddler in a way that it's kind of like,
yeah.
But no, I genuinely, I think she's very polished. I think she is very talented. I absolutely loved the dress she was wearing. I totally got pockets from that. I don't know where Carson was like, this doesn't give me pockets.
I like what Michelle said is what I was feeling. It has pockets, but it's not about pockets. Everybody else was like about pockets.
Yeah, but that in a way that was almost too gimmicky. Because, I mean, Michelle's also going to be the first one that's going to complain that something's a costume.
Too gimmicky for a Drag Race?
Yeah. Where she'll be like, it's costumey. And you were like, I don't understand what that means.
That's fair.
These are men in dresses.
It's all costumey. That's like the point of drag.
But yeah, I loved Simone's look. So creative, what we come to expect from her.
Yeah.
I loved the Hayley Williams, the Paramore nod.
And the orange and yellow hair.
And the way that she was, because I mean, I'm a little bit before this group of queens time. We were in high school in 2001, 2002. But we had that group of kids.
Yeah.
The goth emo kids where the skinny gay black emo kid I knew I was friends with. You know what I mean? And when Simone was like, shout out to my people, I was like, you know what? They were there for me too. So
definitely.
I think that and I don't like the phrasing of dark horse because that implies
there's not a chance, or there's less of a chance.
Well, my surprise winner is, I think, going to be Gottmik.
Me too.
I was Simone all the way, and now I'm like, Gottmik is meeting the challenges, and I think Gottmik's story.
Yeah, it's very inspiring. Also, this is her look tonight. Is my Nina West in the paper doll dress.
Is it really?
Of this season. That was fucking incredible. It was so... Okay, first of all, just the trench coat was like the draping of the trench coat, the huge pockets on the trench coat, her wig, her makeup. I love how Gottmik paints her lips. There's like a shape to them that's like very satisfying and pleasing when you look at her mouth. And then she opened... But
it's almost cartoonish.
Almost cartoonish. But then she opened the coat and she's wearing a golden corset of watches.
Well,
and then there's watches inside the coat like she's a friggin' creepy dude from a 40s movie. Amazing, top to bottom.
It was like the blonde's corset that Kylie Minogue wears in the Get Out of My Way music video.
Sure.
That I thought it might have been in at first because I know that she's established as a makeup artist and that queens can pull stunts like that and stuff. But the blonde's corset is like 45 pounds. And I mean, granted, Kylie wore
I think Gottmik went to Goodwill and bought a bunch of watches.
It was stunning. It was stunning.
It was great.
But the cherry on top was that she attributed the look to Disney's Hercules.
Hey, Mac. Whoa, whoa, whoa! You wanna buy a sundial?
As if that was the first time a flasher had ever been in a movie before.
I don't know that that's what she was saying. She just was like, I always really liked it because he's like, can I interest you in a sundial?
She was like, she was so proud of the fact that her
that's a really cute reference.
And
I
she
love
just
it.
said Hercules too.
Yeah.
I was like, baby.
Yeah.
I was like, honey,
she's a tiny
sweet
baby.
summer child.
Tiny baby. I loved it though. It was my favorite look of the night.
But she's such a good. We talked about it in the first episode, and we dabbled because the thing is, it's like I go back and forth. Her identity as a trans man, I go back and forth with how much we should acknowledge it, how much we should talk about it, and certainly from a revolutionary standpoint, I think it's incredible.
Yeah,
because he is making strides, and just seeing the femme because the thing is
well, he even mentioned that in this episode.
He's a gay man.
Yeah,
it's that thing where it's like there is such, and I understand within the trans community where that desire where he was like, it's either Barbie or Ken. Yeah. There's like no in between, and I love that. And the thing is it's like I don't have identity confusion with Gottmik at any point.
Yeah.
In drag, out of drag, whatever. And because out of drag, he just registers as like a cute little twink.
Yeah.
And
but it is also what the point I think he was trying to make is that he's a little in the middle. Which is, I agree, is great. I think that's something we need way more of because as we've all been learning and discussing, gender is not binary. There's a lot of middle ground. And I think I agree that there needs to be that representation.
But yeah, absolutely, because a lot of times the thought of some of this stuff feels like it's going to be tricky or confusing.
Yeah. And then when you're actually presented with it, it's so easy.
Yeah, to be like, because I said it to our downstairs neighbor who's a 50-year-old straight man, and he's open, he's
receptive.
Yeah, he's liberal, but it knocked his socks off. He was like, wait, how does that even work? How would a trans person even be on Drag Race? And I was like, actually very easily. Yeah. I was like, it sounds like it's going to be confusing, but it's so much more intuitive than Republicans pretend it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that is the way forward, is to just completely normalize and celebrate it. And when Gottmik is so incredibly talented and charismatic, it makes it very easy to want to hold up.
100%.
Because the thing is, when she's doing the comedy and all that stuff, I think it's her absolute she's fearless.
Yeah.
She is so completely, because you talk about how you couldn't do so many things because you'd be too afraid of looking silly.
I don't like to look foolish.
That's not a concern for Gottmik. Yeah.
Maybe you're on.
No, I know. Well, so I think what it might be, and I think it's honestly, I'm going to make a generalization, and I know that this does not apply to everybody, but I think it is part of the reason why so many queer people go into entertainment and stuff, because it's like, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? That already happened to me. The worst thing is that I've already been bullied my whole life, and I'm in a dangerous space most of the time. I should just do the thing I want to do. Well,
there's an element of performance in being queer 100%. Several ways over. So.
And so I think that is probably part of it, where Gottmik's like, I don't have anything to lose. I've already put everything about me on this wide open stage. Yeah.
Because the cat,
that was so fucking funny.
Because what Michelle said was right. It was like, I mean, it was so stupid.
It was so stupid.
But it also, it worked.
Candy's outfit was real ugly. It was a bummer. It was a real bummer. I understood what she was going for. It did not execute properly. And I do like that she, when they told her, she was like, I agree. I don't feel good in this. And I knew when I put it on, but I didn't have
always have to hear from her none of the rest of them talk back to the judges.
Yeah.
And Candy's always got an addendum, and it kind of like,
this didn't feel like talking back.
No, because it wasn't. Yeah. But there was a part of me where I was like, we don't need. Yeah. You're fine. Yeah. You're good. Mm-hmm. But so I did start, I got lost in my own bit, but I started to say that I am apparently huge Cynthia Erivo fan.
She's amazing.
Was it El Royale the first thing we saw her in? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a weird movie. I will. This is me recommending it.
Yeah. Bad Times at the El Royale.
This old heart of mine's been broke 1,000 times. Each time you break away, I think you're gonna stay.
But I don't necessarily know how much.
I don't know how much crossover there.
How much you are gonna like
Chris Hemsworth does that weird snake dance. Yeah.
He has the Adonis belt.
Yeah.
The Brad Pitts, as Will calls him. Yeah. But she is captivating. She steals the movie, and she has a very, very electric chemistry with Jeff Bridges.
She really does.
It's not quite sexual.
It's not sexual,
but it's not unsexy.
It's sexy, but it's not sexual.
Yeah. It's fascinating, and I just from that moment on, I was like, I need to know who this woman is, and she is so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then she starts speaking.
I am, babe. How you been, darling? Thank you for having me.
And it's like velvet and perfume and incense.
She's also got a very lilting and proper British accent. Yeah, it's...
She's going to be the Blue Fairy in Disney's live-action Pinocchio, which I couldn't have given two flying fucks about, and now I give quite literally two. I can't wait. It's her wings. That was a weird joke. I'm excited to see her as the Blue Fairy, but
don't worry, they'll botch it.
And she brings major fairy godmother energy.
Yeah, because
she went back to see them and Candy after Candy pieced out the second time.
Yeah.
And it just, I love her. Scarlett Johansson was there. It was cool. We like Scarlett Johansson. We like Colin Jost.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
I understand Scarlett Johansson's problematic tendencies. I think she's excellent at her job.
She falls into...
Maybe don't. I know what you're going to say.
She falls into the Gwyneth Paltrow category for me, where I'm just sort of I'm not mad at the rich white lady for being out of touch. She just kind of, and she just kind of runs her mouth. And because if you recall, I used to not like Scarlett Johansson back in the day because she would just sort of shoot off at the mouth, and I'd be like, I don't know what you're doing.
She just hasn't learned to stay quiet.
There are times that you don't have to say anything.
You can stay quiet.
Put Colin Jost to good use. That was a blowjob joke. I don't know.
Yeah, cut that. I don't like that.
But no,
just stop talking and suck your husband's dick instead. I've just ensured that this stays in the episode. Fuck.
Major feminist energy. We kind of like Michael Che and Colin Jost.
Yeah.
We're big. We watch SNL every week. We think it's funny and always has been. Come, let us know. Let us know what you think. So the follow count is just
In fact, I think it's funnier now than it was in the 70s. What now?
No, I get the pushback, and I think that pushback is absolutely deserved. But people go all in, and I'm like, that is Colin Jost. That is some milk toast.
That's some real low hanging fruit.
That is some real gentle comedy to have such strong. Do you know what I mean? It's
I mean, for God's sake, he wrote a book called
Punchable.
A Very Punchable Face. That's a memoir, and I just am like,
I might put this at the end of the video.
That's fine.
I might, if you care to hear our Scarlet or Scar Joe and Call Joe.
Oh, I didn't even realize our last names are similar.
Hot takes. I don't know. Olivia went home.
Yeah. It was time.
I think I think so.
She made it so far. I think she deserved to make it this far, but I think this was right.
So are we thinking, we started to have this conversation when we were watching the episode, but are we thinking Olivia for Miss Congeniality?
I'm not sure who else.
Yeah. Well, because there's so many people, for instance, I mean, Gottmik would have been one of my go-to, but she's such a contender at this point.
She's also kind of a bitch.
No.
In a fun way. She's a pot stirrer a little.
No, not with, now that Tina's gone.
That's true. It's not gonna be Tina.
Well, and I'm at a place where I'm like, I don't know, Joey J. Everybody loved Joey. He got a call back in this one.
My baby Joey J. My forever fallen angel. Joey.
True. But I mean, that was what, 2 episodes? So I genuinely this is a weird. You've seen 3 seasons. I've seen 5.5. So we're not storied. We're not learned in this. But from what I've seen, this is a little bit exciting. I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think Olivia, I know we've said she was a little bit of a pot stirrer a couple times too.
She's a diva.
But she's really nice and super friendly, and that was basically the note she got every time. Said she was too nice and friendly.
Tamisha.
Oh, sure. That
could be Tamisha.
That could be for sure. Yeah.
Although I don't know, she is waiting she has feelings about this season. Tamisha, and she said at 12:01 when her NDA.
After the finale?
Mm-hmm. She said at 12:01 she is going live. She apparently has grievances.
Okay.
So.
All right. Spill it tea, Tamisha. I can't wait.
Yeah. So that was this episode, whatever it is, 1443. I don't know.
110. Okay. I've actually been meaning to say this for like 4 weeks since I looked up Rosé, and I have forgotten every week. Rosé's boy name is Ross McCorkle, and I just think we all need to know that because it's hilarious. That was all. I just think that is hysterical.
So
that's my end note.
Bye.